Oh
Yeah,
yeah, here we
man.
go.
It pays to be a computer geek, man.
It does. Yo, what's
Pays.
up? What is up, Salvatore?
What is good with you, nephew? What's good?
Chilling, man. I heard you got one last beer, so I went ahead and got one beer myself.
It's my last beer, man. It's gonna be painful to deal with just my last beer, but
I
Angry
feel that.
Orchard, I got fucking Steel Reserve because I'm broke. Cheers.
Cheers to that.
Mm,
So, Sal, I wanted to ask. You've been streaming for quite a while now.
a long time.
Were
A
you
very long
streaming?
time.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Were you streaming way back when Twitch was just in TV?
Yes. I've had this account since about 2007.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you were there from the jump.
hmm The issue was back then I was like really young. Um, I had a very protective mom at the time. She didn't really like things to be out in the internet, so I didn't have access to a webcam till like a few years after the fact when I was around 15 or 16. Didn't really have a microphone like that. I begged her to get one multiple times, but
Right.
by that time I was just like, trying to find some free software to run with it too. Like at the time you had to get like Fraps or XSplit, and those cost a fucking arm and a leg back then.
Right. Oh, geez. Did you ever upload any content onto YouTube without your face on it, like gameplay clips and whatever?
From what I remember, yeah, I did quite a few times. But my earliest YouTube videos that I have actually do have my face, and it's when about the time when I was 16, I was doing a lot of vlogging and stuff like that with my friends, my old friends from way back in the day.
Right.
hmm
And what would you say was some of your favorite games that you play for streaming and games that you play for comfort?
That's such a hard question, and I've been asking that question for well over 10 years. I would say like my most influential games, um, especially when it comes to streaming or content creation and stuff like that. It really depends on the time period.
Right.
Like in my recent years, especially during these COVID years, because that's when I really started streaming was right before COVID hit. Back in 2018, I started taking it seriously. Um, I would say with content creation, it was all over the place because I still did like a lot of retro gaming and stuff like that. So I was playing a lot of emulators and stuff like that. Um, really ran with a lot of like GameCube games and that sort. But when it came to like actual doing like PC games, I wasn't in really any like competitive scene. And I still kind of hold that mindset where it's just like it wasn't just one game that I was known for. It depends on how I felt.
Right.
So I could easily play like Road Rash one night with a couple beers. Another night, I got the boys with me and we're all racing on Formula One, doing using our like racing wheels and stuff like that. And like another night I'm just like in my own world, like playing MechWarrior or MechWarrior Online and stuff like that.
Right.
hmm
Okay. Were you ever a fan of any type of first-person shooters, third-person shooters, any fighting games,
Oh
anything that
yeah.
like sticks out and you've kind of embraced as a part of your nostalgic childhood?
Oh yeah. I have over 1,200 hours in Counter-Strike Source alone. I still play Quake. I still jump on like Unreal Tournament and stuff like that. Um, Especially in my childhood years, like my early teen years, and when I was like really young. I don't shut the hell up about these games. Games like Planet Side One, was really influential on me, especially with the way that I have like this sort of camaraderie when I play multiplayer games and stuff like that, especially on a large scale. Um, I was really young at the time, like 13, 14, when PlanetSide was out, played on a trial account, and I got with one of the most well-known, they're called outfits, not clans in that game.
Right.
One of the most well-known outfits for my specific faction, which is called Azure Twilight, and people still remember them in the PlanetSide community till this day. And they let little 14-year-old me lead a platoon, and platoons are like 48 players all together in four different squads of 12. So you can just imagine how large the scale was when it came to that game, if that's
Right.
just one platoon. So being on TeamSpeak with them and actively engaging with not just them and but other platoons that were on the server and stuff like that, it was a huge influence. There's also games like Guns a Duel and K styling with that game. That was a great time, especially with a friend of mine. His Twitch name is Rifle Jackson, but even if you check some of my older YouTube videos, you'll see him in the background with all of us hanging out and stuff. There's a lot of games. Quake, of course. Quake is the lifeblood of like modern FPS games. Like I always tell people, like I'm kind of like a video game historian to some degree because I know the root of like a lot of different engines. Like Half-Life wouldn't exist for if it wasn't for Quake 3 because the Gold Source engine literally is a modified Quake engine. Uh Titanfall wouldn't exist because that's a modified Source engine. You know, a lot of these things spawned off from the family tree of Quake. The Call of Duty series was old school Quake 3 and also a modified IO Quake 4 engine for the Modern Warfare series. So Call of Duty 4 and all that, that's all modified Quake 4. Mm.
Gotcha.
Hmm. But
And
yeah, I was all over the place. I'm sorry.
no, you're good.
Fighting games. I grew up on Tekken. I still remember playing Tekken in the arcades. I still remember that arcade theme, specifically the arcade theme, because it's I get so caught up. Like this is the autism coming out. Like I feel like I just have like a wellspring of information because I like to look at like even different like the same game on different consoles or versions and how much like the music changes depending on what it is. So the arcade version of Tekken 2 is much more punchier and the PS1 version, I think I'm getting them kind of mixed up. Think
But
one of
you
them
can
is like
tell that
very
there
like
is a difference in the mechanics, though.
yeah, some of them have different mechanics. One good example is like the Nagano Winter Olympics games for like the N64 and PS1. One was very like simulation, which would be the PS1 version, and they leaned into that. And then the N64 version was much more like um almost like a tech demo. They wanted to showcase like the smoother graphics and stuff like that. So the music really honed in on that.
Right. Okay. Out of all these games that you've played and been a part of these communities, have you guys ever had any real life meetups at any anime conventions?
I have not. I haven't personally. Um, I still have friends that I met when I was 14. I'm 32 now. I'm 32 now. Guys that I've known since I was 14 that I met through Counter Strike. I actually just got off their Discord call with them in the server, and they're all playing Deadlock. So I haven't been able to meet them up, but they all live in like Texas and stuff. I have a menagerie of people that I've met online through gaming. Um, Few of them I've met in person. Few of them have actually come to visit here and there, but not. It's kind of like far and few in between because I'm a broke college student. So,
Understandable. Now,
hmm
as a streamer, What is your opinion on the current world of streaming and where streaming is at right now? Like
I love it and
culture.
hate it. I love it and hate it. And I'm that's a really good, great question to ask. Um, Personally for me, it's a very difficult place to be because I feel like I'm past my prime. Like there's entire like metas surrounding like what streaming is now. And it's like you have to find your niche and hone in on it. But personally for me, I don't really have a niche. I've garnered such a great community over the years.
Well,
People stay for different reasons.
may I cut you off for 2 seconds and ask,
Of course.
what do you mean by niche? Like, do you mean like, do you need to stream a specific game franchise, or do you need to present yourself in a certain way for you to even gain more traction?
If it depends on what your goals are with streaming. I don't plan on becoming like some big streamer. I didn't even plan on making it this far. I'm glad that I did. Um it all has to deal with like what your personal goals are. If you're going into this as like a career, then you really have to hone in on playing a specific type of game and making that your end all be all. You know, um at the same time, I always advise people just be yourself, play what you want, and just have some flavor to it. Whether it's the designs for like your streaming backgrounds or little things here and there, very small little details that people like to look at and pay attention to. But I'm kind of like a boomer on the internet, you know.
Right.
So I'm always gonna be a proponent of saying do what you want to do first, because if you're not having fun with it, you're gonna fuck up. All the success that comes with like a viewership or even making affiliate, that comes with consistency.
Right.
And I haven't been as consistent as I want to be because I am a full-time student, so these past few years have been kind of weird. But um the current landscape is weird, especially since the introduction of like IRL streamers and politics and stuff like that. When Twitch was initially a platform for gaming, but now it's become something so much larger, and you have multiple platforms. Some are more favorable than others.
Well,
You
you got
know,
Rumble and you got Kick
yeah.
stepping it up. Kick especially. Kick's been really pumping up the live streamers.
hmm I really don't like Kick or Rumble as a platform because it's like I have the mindset that it's like it's not quantity that I'm looking for. It's the quality of engagement that I get with people. It's the quality of conversations that I have with people. It's um the viewership that I have. These are people that I would play video games with.
Right.
These are people I'll have serious conversations with that I do enjoy having them around. And
So do you see yourself getting to a certain level where queso or moist critical is at, where they're consistently having to look at the chat, say, yo, what's good, chat? What's up, chat? What are we doing today, chat? This, that, and the third.
I don't know if I'll get to that level of being that big, but I've had those moments before
Right.
where, we're just going back and forth. People are showing me music that they've made. I've met artists through streaming that have showed me their music. One young kid, like, there's a reason why everybody calls me Uncle Rizzo. Like, I'm your favorite drunk black uncle for real. Like this one kid, Beanie Weenie, he comes through often, and he always apologizes to me, saying, "Sorry, Uncle, if I've been missing streams." I'm like, "Kid, listen, you're in varsity football, you got a job, you know, you're taking AP classes. and you make music on the side, and you're helping my other friend with his video game doing the soundtrack for it. Like, I my streams are gonna be here. You got a million other things that you have priorities for. And
The
that's the
balance of the
level of
number.
connection. Yeah. That's the level of connection that I really do appreciate with people with what I do. I don't see myself making it that big, but if it happens, it happens.
Right.
I wouldn't be angry at it at all. I'd be like, well, shit, we're here, you know?
I got you. And to dial it back, you had brought up music and Beanie Weenie's music production. Um, you are a huge appreciator of the music. You've actually linked me a couple of times, and I gotta say, some of the shit you put me on is fire. Have you ever thought about getting into music production, or maybe like going down an Anthony Fantana route and doing music reviews?
I love you for this question. Because this is that's loaded for me. I started using FL Studio. I was heavily into a lot of different things when I was younger. Because I'm gonna be really candid with you. I deal with like a lot of mental illnesses and stuff, and I was diagnosed with like severe depressive disorder at the age of 12, and I was on like antipsychotic medications and SSRIs for a very long time. And I was into a lot of artistic pursuits to combat that. And till this day, I still kind of do um a little bit of like, what can I explain it as? It's like I like to show people samples. Like that's like my little autism power as well. Is like,
Right,
especially in hip hop, I love sample work. So I'll show people an original sample and I'll show how between multiple different artists, how that same sample is looped, how it's used as well. I'll sit there and use Audacity, cut it myself, and almost recreate the beat myself
right.
on stream. I've done that while drunk as hell many times.
That's actually
I've done
cool.
that many times.
Now, all right, many times. So this is going to be a super specific example. Have you ever
Mm.
dissected Kodak Black's brand new Glizzy? All
He's
right.
not my type of artist that I listen to. I'm very boom bap old school.
Okay. I got that feeling from you. However, you're gonna shit bricks when I tell you this. This is an old song. This is like a 6 or 7 year old song, maybe even eight.
Hmm.
I don't know if Kodak or Kodak's producer knew that they used it as a
Hmm.
sample, but the fucking sample they used was straight up from Shenmue.
They do that a lot. One of my favorite artists that does a lot of video game sampling, JPEG Mafia.
Really, you
Because
like JPEG?
yes, I fucking love Peggy. I fucking love Peggy. And Freddie Gibbs, when he was working with Madlib, of course, I'm a huge Madlib fan. Like, but Peggy really leans into like the nerdy aspect, especially with what was that one album? I listened to this album religiously when it first came out some years ago. It was All My Heroes Are Cornballs.
Yeah,
And he was sampling like Metal Gear Solid, like the item selection like chime that would play in and stuff like that, and like old anime. I love that stuff. It's funny enough we're talking about music like this because my little brother is a producer, and I showed him FL Studio one time when I was playing around with it. I made some little dumbass beats when I was a kid, and he came in my room, and he was like, "What are you doing?" I would show him just like, "Yeah, I'm just playing around with music. Like I'm not making nothing crazy." And then he was just like, "Can you put that on my computer?" I'm like, "Sure, of course." I let him play with it on mine, and then I'm heavy into eye patching. Arg. So I eye patched it for him, you know what I mean, and put it on his PC, and he took off and ran with it. My little brother is heavily into like engineering and like actual engineering, like the mathematics. So like when he took that mathematical brain and put it to music, he's in a different wave. And you know, we even have plans of like having like a collaboration effort because we want to actually make some house music. Like he's been on a house music tip. I'll send him like some loops that I make and show him like the sample and how I cut it, and
Right.
he'll take that and use that as like inspiration and stuff.
Okay. Um. Okay. I got some people I can get you guys hooked up with. Um. In your journey of streaming and content creation, who are your biggest inspirations? Like, who are the people who really like wanted you to like get more serious with what you're doing now? Or
Uh,
not even the people who pushed you to get serious, but people who you looked up to and wanted to kind of be like them to an extent.
Nobody. If there is another streamer that I looked up to, it was nobody. I didn't really look at anybody. It was just like I want to. That wasn't like an inspiration, you know. It was just It started throughout years and years of people telling me, you have a voice for radio. That was one thing. You
Right.
have the voice for radio, you have the personality for radio, and you have crazy music taste. So I knew I couldn't get on the airwaves, especially with the type of like underground music that I was playing, especially at like a lot of parties that I would go to and stuff. I would end up taking over the music, and people were just like, what the hell is this? This is what?" They couldn't explain it. It was just like because it's so chill, but it was such a like a good motion. I don't like to use the word vibe, but like most people say it was a good vibe, but it's like no, it's like it's motion, you know?
Yes.
Like music is artistry in motion. And gathering from all these different people that would tell me all these things, I was just like, okay, well, I always want to do my own radio show. I always wanted to like, you know, just play music for people, drink a few beers and just talk to people and stuff. So that's what started it. And the people that pushed me is literally the guy that's behind all of my artwork, Francois, also known as Overloop, and he's responsible for me doing all this. He was the one who was like, dude, I believe in this shit. I believe in what the fuck you're gonna do. I'm gonna drop $300 right now because he used to work at Best Buy, and I remember the day that he did it because we're hanging out in my room and we were drinking. He's just like, motherfucker, I'm buying the camera and the Yeti mic right now. Went on his phone, put that bitch on, and right there it just said, this will be here in 2 days. And I'm like, what the fuck? Now I've been using this C922 webcam since 2018, and I still got my Yeti mic over here.
That is
Got
fire.
to get a new cable for it. Yeah.
What a fucking good friend.
Hmm. All of my emotes, my custom scenes, everything that has like that Fallout motif behind it, it's
Yeah,
all from him.
that's
All
fire.
him. And he did it for free. He's just like, I got you. All your buttons, everything.
Fuck yeah. You always need that one guy behind your team.
Yeah. And there was many nights where he would just literally pull up and he's just like, bro, I need to come over because I need inspiration. So he would actually do like his artwork. And you know, he's done a lot of like album covers for like some decent artists here and there, some guys that we actually would listen to and stuff that were on some big projects. So he's done album covers. He's done like custom artwork for like a lot of our favorite artists, and they loved it.
You think he would
But
help
he,
you and your brother?
yeah, he always has. He always has. He helped my brother a lot. He helped me a lot. But he would literally just sit here. We would have two headphones because knew how to do it so I can have multiple outputs. He would have his Bluetooth headphones, and I would be playing music. And as I'm streaming, he's doing his artwork. You can see both of us just hanging out, talking shit. And we're just in our own world, just doing the thing.
I got you. Okay. I love that for you. Actually, it sounds like you have a solid family and friend team behind you in your endeavors. Um,
Mhm.
which do you have any big plans in the future? Anything that we should know about? Any upcoming projects? Anything new?
The When it comes to streaming, no. Um, there's a lot of things that I have in the oven. Um, Things that I've messed around with. Like I actually tried to like learn how to DJ with mouse and keyboard on like virtual DJ and Tractor.
Right.
I actually still have some clips from a stream where I was doing some transitions, and I was playing around with that. But I guess when it comes to streaming, like my biggest thing right now is I just got a brand new racing wheel again. So the sim racing is going to come back, especially with my homeboys. I have like a whole racing crew. We're going to be doing more streams with like Formula One and Assetto Corsa and bringing in VR into that as well. So it's going to be interesting to get back into that and kind of just cool my mind a bit.
Right. And
Outside of it,
fuck yeah.
yeah.
Do you have any advice or anything you'd like to say to the general audience? Anything you'd like to say to any up and coming musicians or streamers?
Call me. I'll promote your music. Call me. If you need help with tech support, anything like that, especially when it comes to streaming, call me. I do not mind helping. If it's a big issue, I don't charge. I'll give you advice as much as I can. I even use remote access to set it up for you and teach you exactly what I'm doing so that you can actually see and maintain it for yourself. Um, Outside of that, stay in your lane. You don't have to try to be somebody you're not. You don't have to do things you're uncomfortable with. You don't have to play the biggest games. Pick the game that you like to play, pick games you like to play, pick the music you like to play. And over time, you'll just learn how to maneuver in and out of all the kinks and quirks of this for the long term. I mean, if I can do it and I made it to the point that I'm at now and I'm still going forward, then anybody can do it.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Uncle Rizzo. I appreciate you
Of
for taking the
course.
time to be a part of this interview. Uh,
Mm,
oh, boom,
mm,
clang.
of course. I appreciate you having me. If there's any other crazy things you want to talk about, I got time.
Oh, for sure. We got plenty of time, but for now, I gotta cut this interview short. But to those who are still on the stream, stick around. Uh, we gotta support Unc by all means. Otherwise, this whole VOD is gonna be up next week on my YouTube channel at Metahuman Macaluco.
Yes, Lord. Appreciate you, man. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Stick around, folks. Stick around.
Oh,
Love you,
oh,
Unc.
your dollars. Love you too, man.